Welcome back and welcome Bout Betters. I hope you were successful last week. As we saw, all our favorites that we reviewed did finish, and I cashed in on all of them. My favorite, because it was the most profitable, was Miesha Tate. Great performance by her, and it allowed me to throw more house money at Makhachev by finish as well. But by fight time, that bet was only at plus 110. You guys hammered away with it. Everybody hammered that particular bet, as well as just Makhachev in every single parlay. I think it was close to minus 800 by fight time. Still, a win is a win, and I hope you did well. This week, we have an even better card, I think, than we had last week, or at least my expectations from a fan perspective is high. So please like and subscribe. If you caught anything last week, if you're going to listen to the rest of this stuff, we're going to cover a fight that a lot of people, I think, are afraid to bet on. Cory Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. Again, my expectations really high on this fight. This is a great matchup. I haven't seen the complete betting lines thus far. Right now, Cory Sandhagen opened up as a slight favorite. It really isn't too much of a variable. It's enough chalk to possibly cover at minus 171 if you're on the favorite side here, numbers-wise. But again, it's a good matchup, a good bout. I'm not going to do a full breakdown of the whole card. I'm just going to focus on bouts that I will primarily probably bet on. I know a lot of the bettors will avoid this event because of Sandhagen's professional fight mental state and Dillashaw's questionable physical as well as psychological state. This fight has already begun, as each fighter has an internal struggle they may have to overcome. Dillashaw, coming off 2-year suspension, can't be easy physically nor psychologically. Sandhagen, I think, has been very open with his psychology, his fight psychology. I don't know what his particular hangups might be, but he is addressing them, and I respect that. Someone that goes out, hey, I have issues with my mind game or my mental state, and I need to fix those things. Cory Sandhagen, and I believe even TJ Dillashaw had once gone to some form of counseling. These guys both will do whatever it takes to get better. They really are the next level fighters. That's why Dillashaw, coming and cheating off EPO is going to be a challenge in itself. We don't know what that substance is going to do to him physically, nor even mentally in this state. So if anybody knows about that stuff, wants to comment how or what they think their opinion is going to be in TJ Dillashaw, just from a mental state, please comment in the section there. So whoever's been mentally tough, I think, during this camp can win this fight. I'm curious as to where these guys are in their careers, as well as, more importantly, in the real world. I know it's odd. I think their personal headspace is going to be a factor in this fight because we have two stone cold finishers in the octagon. Sandhagen with the 71% finish rate, only going to decision twice, and TJ Dillashaw 67% finish rate with a few opponents in common: Frankie Edgar, John Lineker, and Rafael Assunção. Both these guys are crazy good strikers, with Sandhagen landing almost 7 strikes per minute, while Snakeshaw only lands 5. Couple these dudes good stand-up with way better than average striking defense, and we're going to have a great chess match or riddle for each of these guys to solve on the feet. It's going to be difficult for these guys to figure each other out because each of these guys possesses incredible movement. While I might give a slight striking advantage to Cory Sandhagen, it is slight by a little. Bam Ludwig really created something with TJ Dillashaw that was special. His striking defense is fantastic. So we're going to see something. It's going to be close, but I think we're going to see a finish. These guys both epitomize a great balance between striking defense and offensive movement. Each has a unique foot skills, and the important thing for both in their styles is how much does this movement tax their cardio. The pace of this fight is a huge parameter in determining the outcome. Picking a better striker here is a challenge. Dillashaw under Ludwig, as I mentioned, that unique style that won him the belt. But I still think Sandhagen has a slight edge only due to his variety of attacks and his kicking game. He may be hesitant to bring that out immediately, as Dillashaw is an alpha male wrestler. Sandhagen will have a slight reach and kicking advantage and will more likely wait to pepper up Dillashaw from the outside before anything significant happens. Sandhagen then is will be setting the pace of this and context of this fight. Dillashaw will probably want to mix this up out of necessity. We have not seen his grapple game since John Lineker in 2016. That's because, like many wrestlers, the snake has fallen in love with his hands. Sandhagen shows some weaknesses in his 30% takedown defense, but he's given up plenty of takedowns in his fights and he's won. How has Dillashaw's ground game developed, and how has his growth as a fighter been coming along? You could ask the same of Cory Sandhagen, but we're definitely a lot more curious about TJ Dillashaw because we haven't seen him in 2 years. That's why I'm strongly leaning with Cory Sandhagen in this spot. That suspension, basically, 2 years to come right into a number one contender spot, possibly fight for the championship, the belt after this. The stakes are high. Rounding off the stats that we see here, the offensive movement is just fantastic for both of these fighters. The grappling and striking evasion for both these guys is just fantastic. The octagon movement from both TJ Dillashaw as well as Cory Sandhagen. I wonder how it's going to play out on television, how it's all really going. These guys are just have really good octagon awareness and movement. I can't stress that enough. The counter wrestling I got to give to TJ Dillashaw, his base is wrestling. He was a fantastic wrestler in college, of course. He's just veered away into focusing on his striking. But if he revives and develops more of his wrestling game and his jiu-jitsu game, this guy could be still a dangerous fighter. I'm not underestimating TJ Dillashaw just because of the EPO. He still had a very good base of talent to work with, and he definitely is championship material. He's had the belt before, and I think that both these guys are about to do that again. So the offensive jiu-jitsu, I'm going to lean slightly with TJ Dillashaw just because he's comfortable in the mat, possibly in the gi. The offensive wrestling, TJ Dillashaw all day. The takedown defense, Dillashaw again all day. Fight IQ, man, this is a tough one. I think both these guys have great fight IQs. Both these guys are slight head cases where things happen to them. I don't know what it is in the personal area, or just, again, with Dillashaw, sometimes with the EPO and ego. Cory Sandhagen, I believe it's just searching for that killer mentality and the will to hurt someone else. I think he fights with that maybe philosophically. I think we're going to see a finish here. Both these guys are finishers and look to knock out their opponents. I don't think we see 5 rounds in this bout, even if Dillashaw implements some grappling. Dillashaw's ground and pound is vicious. It's team alpha male staple, so he can finish by TKO from a dominant position on top. TJ has hands as well as Cory Sandhagen, and Cory is going to have to respect them. But the absence of the EPO is going to be that thing that's going to hurt Dillashaw's stamina, and then his head, and then his fight awareness. And I see Sandhagen taking this snake down in round 2 or 3. I think that he's going to use his reach advantage. He's going to fight a smart fight out there, keep Dillashaw at bay, wear him out, frustrate him a bunch, and then explode physically. I think both these guys, watching the pace of the fight, who comes out quicker or who decides to explode first is going to be very interesting. It is for sure must-watch MMA. Definitely a fantastic bout that is free. Loving these free fights. Last week was fantastic. I think this next card, even though I'm not going to review every fight, we have some fantastic bouts from a fan perspective, and as always, definitely from a betting perspective. Hopefully, towards the end of the week, I could get some picks out there for everybody. But in the meantime, please like and subscribe. Hit up the comment section, and good luck this weekend.